Go Blue Jays! I really hope the Blue Jays win Game 7 of the World Series 2025. Of course, by the time you're watching this video, it will be history and we will already know whether or not they win. I'm making this video on Saturday, the 1st of November, so it's still 18 hours before the Blue Jays game. Go Blue Jays! But hey, I'm not here to talk about baseball today. This is a regular weekly analysis that I do every week for gold and the major U.S. pairs. Yes, it's already that time again. I know the weeks keep going by faster and faster. The months go by faster and faster. In fact, it's only, I think, 54 days till Christmas. And where has this year gone? So here's the regular weekly analysis, and this week starting on the 3rd of November, going through to the 7th of November, 2025. And as always, we look at the high impact news that's coming out for this upcoming week and our go-to website, forexfactory.com. And as you can see, it's another full calendar this week. It's going to be exciting and volatile. A lot of things coming out. There's 10 different items listed for the U.S. market. And we know that some of those items or all of those items or none of those items will be released or might not be released, because you see the note down at the bottom there, the U.S. government is still in a shutdown and some of the items are tentative. And especially concerning is the first Friday of every month is the non-farm payrolls. And so that's this upcoming Friday. And as you can see at the bottom of the screen, it's tentative. And I seriously doubt that we're going to see any data about the non-farm payrolls. You know, if it does come out, it's definitely going to piss off Trumpty Dumpty. He hates that report. But anyway, all we can do is wait and see. We don't know, but there is other important news. The Australian economy is having their interest rate release, and it looks like it's not going to be lowered or raised. And the pound also the same. It looks like they're going to keep the interest rate the same. So lots of high impact news. Just be sure and check forexfactory.com for your local times. And the first set of charts that we look at is the trade setups that I shared with you last week. And the first major pair is the Euro US. We had a buy limit on that one, and it did execute on Monday and went well into profit on Monday and Tuesday before turning around and going the opposite direction. But if you took that trade, you could have got 47 pips. I know a lot of people like to trade the Euro US. For some people, that's all that they trade. Let me know below in the comments if you do trade the Euro US, if it's one of your main pairs, and if you do take these trades that I share with you on a weekly basis. Then we look at the odd US. I had a pending order of a buy limit on this one, but it did not execute. It just gapped up when the Asian Pacific market opened and then just went straight up into profit. If you had taken that once it got started before the European session, then you could have got 85 pips over the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Then the New Zealand US, I also had a buy limit on that one. The same thing happened. Which is typical with the Australian and New Zealand pairs. They move pretty much in tandem most of the time. It also gapped up on Monday when the Asian Pacific market opened, and then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday went into profit. You could have got 50 pips out of the New Zealand US. And then the pound US was a sell limit. As I told you, it's very unusual for me to go the opposite direction with one of the major pairs, but the pound, it's been falling off the cliff for the last several weeks. And this previous week, it was our cash cow. So I hope that you were able to take this one. Now, let me know if you do trade the pound US, if it's one of your main pairs that you trade, and if you took this trade, because this one paid off really well. It was a sell limit. And early in Monday, it did open, went a little bit, just a few pips the wrong direction. And then on Tuesday, turned really good. And just for the rest of the entire week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and before the U.S. session closed, it started to retrace a little bit. But overall, from Monday to Friday, you could have got 223 pips out of the pound U.S. And the USD CAD, remember, was no trade. And you can see why. It started out here on the Monday and then went a little bit sideways for a couple of days. And then over the next 3 days formed a divining rod. Yeah. And then started to go up again on Friday. So I was glad I didn't take any trade on the USD CAD. And then the UJ, Also, there was no trade on that one. There's been a lot of uncertainty with the Japanese yen, and this one is going up, the US dollar and Japanese yen going up. And don't be confused, that's not because of the strength of the US dollar, it's because of the weakness of the Japanese yen. But there was no trade on the UJ last week. And then what do we have on gold? XAU USD, I had a buy, a market execution order. So I said when the market opens on Monday, just to buy gold with the take profit at 4,200. And it did open, all right, but only went up 500 pips. And that looks like a really small candle there. I know it's hard to believe that's 500 pips, but it is. And it just looks like it's not much because gold has been making such huge moves on a daily basis that the candles appear to be small, but it's actually a big number. I mean, we've seen almost a $400 move in 1 week. So, you know, these candles just appear to be small, but this was a 500 pip move up before it started to turn around and go the opposite direction. So if you took that buy order when the Asian Pacific market opened on Monday morning in the previous week, you could have got 500 pips out of that gold trade. And then it dropped off the rest of the day Monday and part of Tuesday before starting to recover a little bit, and then kind of an up and down movement, and basically just sideways on Friday. But it was bullish on the day chart and bullish on the 4-hour chart. That's why I gave this buy order market execution. But then during the week it went bearish on both charts. And then towards the end of the week, just on Thursday, late Thursday, it turned bullish again on both charts, day chart and the 4-hour chart. So what in the world is going on with gold? Well, we'll look at that in a pending order that I'll share with you in just a moment. But just before I share my pending orders that I have for the upcoming week, I want to let everyone know that I will be conducting a live Zoom session this coming Friday, and I'll leave the link below this video. You need to register if you want to attend, and it's all about prop firms. Some people are interested in prop firms, don't know what they are, don't know how they work, and that's the reason I'm doing this Zoom session, to answer all of your questions and help those of you who would like to give it a try and get started and see how these prop firms work and how they can benefit you as a trader. So the registration link is below this video, and I hope to see you there this coming Friday, November the 7th at 6 p.m. Indochina time. And now looking at the pending orders that I have for you for this upcoming week, starting on the November the 3rd, going through to the November the 7th. And we'll look at Bitcoin first. Bitcoin is a buy. Okay, it's come down to our support level that we have here around 108,000. It dropped a little bit below that here, a little bit below that here, a little bit below that here, but now it's starting to recover, starting to retrace, to pull back. And so just buy market execution, buy Bitcoin, and you can take profit. First level of resistance is 112,000, and then after that is 115,000. So Bitcoin is a buy. And then we'll look at the major pairs. The Euro US first is a sell limit. Let this retrace, pull back to our resistance zone at 1.1555. The odd US, a buy limit. Okay, a little bit of opposite direction on some of these pairs. The odd US is a buy limit. Okay, with the entry price at 0.6540, and you have your take profit there 0.6610. The New Zealand US is a buy limit with the entry price at 0.5716 and the take profit at 0.5840. The pound US is a sell limit. I know this looks strange. These things are going opposite directions. It doesn't make any sense, but this just indicates the level of uncertainty that we have in the global markets. The pound US is a sell limit with the entry price at 1.3170 and the take profit at 1.3100. So let that one retrace just a little bit, pull back to our resistance zone. Then the USD CAD, I'm going to stay with what I've been saying on this one, no trade. Just wait and see how this one plays out. And then the UJ, I'm going to go ahead and go with a bullish move on this one because of the weakness of the Japanese yen. So the USD JPY is a buy limit, and let it retrace, pull back down to our support level of 153.65. And then gold, everybody's favorite. What are we going to do with gold? Oh, what's going on with gold? It's bullish in the beginning of the week, then turns bearish, and then turns bullish again, all in 1 week. Well, I have a buy limit, All right. The big picture is I'm still bullish on gold, but there is a lot of uncertainty in the markets, and that's because of several factors. But the main one recently being the interest rate. They did lower the interest rate last week, and that was good for gold. But gold came down after the FOMC. Now it did finally start to recover. All right, but that just indicates you've got a divining rod there. That just indicates the level of uncertainty that we have in the markets. And you say, well, they dropped the interest rate on the US dollar, so that's good for gold. Yes, that's true. But if you were paying attention, just after the interest rate was released, Jerome Powell came out and gave a speech. And when he started talking, the US dollar started going up and gold started going down because he said, yes, the market is expecting interest rates to continue to be lowered. But when Jerome Powell came out and started speaking, he said, look, December is not a sure thing. There's no guarantee that we're going to continue to lower interest rates. That's what he said. And then the market reacted accordingly. So you see this uncertainty that we've got here with this big drop down, big move back up, and then sideways mostly on Friday. So we just have to let the price tell us what it's going to do. And on the big picture charts, the day chart, the 4-hour chart, I am bullish on gold. So I have a buy limit with the entry price at $39.95. That's just a little bit lower than where it closed on Friday. All right. And then I have a take profit at 4,100 with a stop loss at 3,970. Okay, guys, that's a wrap for this week. I hope that the last week trade setups that I shared with you, we did have some good profit last week, especially on the pound US. And if you were trading any of those, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And of course, my pending orders that I share with you, I hope that those will help you to make profit with your trading in Forex. And if you'd like to join me in my Tickmill team, Tickmill is my preferred broker. If you do that, then I'll be glad to add you to my Telegram group where we have you can have conversations, chats with other traders, and I post regular news updates and sometimes videos, and you can always reach me in that Telegram group. The links for Tickmill are below this video, as well as the registration link for the Zoom conference that I'll be conducting this upcoming Friday on the 7th of November, 6 p.m. Indochina time. If you're interested to learn about prop firms, I hope that you'll join that Zoom session I have this coming Friday. All right, thanks for wherever you are in the world. I hope you have a great week of trading. Go Blue Jays! Oh, I'm really looking forward to watching that 7th game of the series. Wherever you are, have a great week of trading in Forex. And just remember, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'll see you again in the next video. Okay.